And I was a constant disappointment to my father because I'm not the same type of man as he is. He's a practical fucking, he always copes. He always kind of thought I was a fucking idiot, never able to do anything good for myself at all. I remember when the first summer I left school, I went over to England. I came home with the price of a fucking Mars bar, and there's fellas coming home with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of euro, but I never found the right work. So I want to impress me fucking father. Do you need me here, Dad? I'll hitch. If hitched to Rosslare, met no truckers. On the boat, what the fuck am I going to do? Was it a 12 or 18 hour crossing back in them days, overnight? Slept on the floor, first time in my life I ever felt fucking seasick. Into the bar anyway, got talking to this, I said, I just have to go to one of these fucking truck drivers. So the third fella I went up to says, yeah, I'll give you a lift. I said, I'm trying to get to Barcelona, I've work promised, I'd done a TEFL course, I was going to teach English. I've work promised, he says, I'll give you a fucking lift anyway. Boat pulls into Le Havre, the cunt is nowhere to be seen. I walk off the boat. What the fuck? It was at night time now, 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening, a dark European evening. People of colours that I had never seen before in my life. People speaking languages I'd never fucking heard in my life. Says, fuck it, I'll get the train into Paris, right? I'll get the train into Paris and I'll fucking arrive there 1 o'clock in the morning. Go round asking hotels, they're all fucking booked up. For some reason I thought you just fucking... Christ. I've nowhere to stay. So I'm walking around this square near the train station. Nowhere for me to stay. One of the hotel owners that I had been into comes out and says, you can stay in that room there. But if there's a knock on the door in the middle of the night,
oh Jesus,
this is the name to say that you are. And it was a kind of an Islamic Moroccan name. And he says, there's a good possibility someone's going to knock on the door and shout, who's in there? And this is the name you have to give. Now, my only other option was to fucking stay out all night in Paris. I wasn't going to do that. I said, fine. Gave him the money, up to the room, pulled back the sheets. Hadn't been fucking washed in a month. It was disgusting.
Oh, yuck.
I got on top of the sheets. A bang on the door at 4 o'clock in the morning. This loud, angry Arabic voice. Who's in there? I fucking gave the name. But I didn't sleep deeply. Got up the next morning, got information of where there was going to be a bus to Barcelona. 15-hour bus journey. A walk about fucking 8 hours across Paris with this fucking bag on me back.
Jesus Christ.
Eventually find this bus. I'm fucking exhausted at this stage. Get on the bus. I'm sitting beside these African lads. Big, huge, silent, suffering men who are going fucking through something. I don't know where these fuckers are after, where they're coming from, but they're not having an easy ride of it. Big. He's a big African man and I'm a little man sitting beside him looking at the window for 15 hours. The bus gets stopped at the border going from France into Spain. These boys are taken off if they're not allowed into Spain. Bus continues on. Arrives in Barcelona at 6 o'clock in the morning. I felt like Jack fucking Kerouac. me travelling life had finally begun and I'd made it as far as Barcelona. Got into the bus station in Barcelona, then took a kind of, I think it was a tube underground to La Ramblas. And I booked a youth hostel just off La Ramblas. And I remember walking up the steps in the smell of fucking flowers and fresh air and daylight. Even though it was January, it was warm. It was a gorgeous warmth. And nice. The colours and everything. I felt, I'm living. I'm finally, all them years spent on the dole, me after failing the Leaving Cert, and people thought I'd come to fucking nothing. Well, I'm a legend. I'm in Spain. Barcelona. And it wasn't fucking easy, but I'm here, boys. I am fucking here. I had about 25,000 pesetas in my pocket. That was all I had, you know. Went to the youth hostel in a place called Plaza de Real or something like that, just off the Ramblas. Booked into the youth hostel. Felt beautiful, man. In my little room. And I walked out and I'm walking up and down the Ramblas and it's fucking so... People from so many different countries and stuff like that. I see there's a crowd gathered around these people, you know, and I'm fucking looking in. And I'm looking in at them and they're doing that thing where they have the P and the three cups.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
but they're not very good at it. Do you know, they're a bit shit like, and they look scruffy North African. They're like, I'm looking at them going, these poor fuckers, you can't even do that right. I'm just staring at them, their yellow teeth and busted clothes, and they're just and next thing I only realised this looking back on the incident. Next thing, I was on the outside of the circle. Then all of a sudden I'm on the fucking inside of the circle and I have no idea how that happened. And I'm the only fucking white person there. I remember that in hindsight. It didn't click on me at the time. And I'm looking.
They're moving it.
I'm looking at this thing, but he's not doing it fucking right. Like, it's really easy to see where the ball is. And there's times where he leaves the cup resting on the pea. You can fucking see it. Like, these cunts, they come all the way. They're from an inferior culture. They come over from North Africa and they think they're fucking great, but they can't cope in Europe. They're not fucking clever enough to cope in Europe. And I'm looking at these poor fuckers, like. So your man is doing the yoke and it's shit, and he's asking a fella over the other side of the semicircle, do you want to play, you know? Then the fella beside me fucking nudges me. Another North African fella. Again, I didn't cop this till afterwards. But another North African fella gives me a fucking dig as if to say, he's fairly shit, isn't he? And I go, he is fairly shit. Now, I haven't slept for fucking 2.5 days, okay? And I'm a bit fucking exhausted and delirious. And I'm excited with the fresh air and the smell of flowers and being in Spain. Anyway, your man comes back to me. Now, I'm looking at the fucking... The pea is resting. The cup is resting on the pea.
3 cups.
3 cups in 1 pea, and the cup is rest. I can see the fucking pea. Like, your man looks at me, the guy who's doing it. He sees me seeing the fucking pea, and then he just gives the cup a little flick to cover the pea. But I've seen it. I may not have passed my leaving cert, but I did fairly well.
You visually saw. I
saw it. I mean, I did well in.
Did you see it with your eyes?
I did. I done well in the Drumcondra tests. I'm not fucking stupid.
You
like,
saw
I
it.
saw the fucking thing.
How much was it, Tommy?
So then he says, you want to play? And I says, of course I want to fucking play, because you boys are stupid. These fucking idiots from North Africa. I'm from Navan. I fucking know everything. So he said, I put my hand in my pocket. Now, I'd paid 5,000 in at the youth hostels, only had 20,000 pesetas left.
1,000 back in the day was a £5 was 1,000 pesetas. That's what it was.
This is all my money now. I took out 5,000 pesetas, which was
25 quid, Tommy.
Yeah, right. This is me. I've been on the dole like I'm winning pool tournaments. I didn't have fucking much money. I know I took out the 5, right? And then the
5,000 pesetas.
That's a lot of money.
Cunts.
They saw
the rest of the money,
Jesus.
and they said, put on 20, you win 40. Put on 20, you win 40. The whole load of them, and I was looking around the pot. What do? Hey, put on 20, you win 40. I saw the fucking pea. I saw it with my own fucking eyes. I was thinking to myself, within a minute, I'm going to have 40,000 fucking pesetas. I'll be fucking grand. I get the 20. I said, there, take that, you North African cunt. You'll not ride me. I'll ride you fucking sideways, you bastard, you. And he said, okay, which one do you think? I saw it. And I lifted up.
Oh no.
And it was gone, Hector! It was fucking gone! Where did it go? They all started laughing at me, Hector. The North African cunts were all laughing at me.
You were absolutely hook, line and sinker.
Laughing at me with their fucking
You'd all your money
yellow
gone.
teeth and fucking
Can you
demon eyes.
describe that feeling, Tommy? That moment when he lifted the cup.
It was like somebody reached in and just took the heart and soul out of my body and threw it into the bin. It all happened so fucking...
Yeah.
What the fuck did you
quick.
do?
So, I went into Plaza de Real. The cunts were laughing at me. I went into Plaza de Real and I burst into tears. I had no money. I had a place to stay for 3 days, I think I'd booked in it, but what the fuck was I going to do after that? So that night, it was the 6th of January, it was King's Day in Spain, which is kind of like their version of Christmas.
Not that it is.
So what they do,
Massive day.
They have a big parade down the Ramblas, and what you have is they throw out sweets to the children. Well, I swear, I picked up more fucking sweets. I was baiting you. Get your fucking... I fucking saw that when you cunt.
standing on a young kid's wrist.
On his neck.
Get your fucking...
Spit it out, you cunt.
Get
Spit
your,
it fucking out.
get your mano off that sweet. Yeah, el noche de reyes.
So
man.
where you were gathering
I
up sweets?
Sweets. So I had something to eat. I had no money.
I can't cope. This is absolutely...
Yeah. You just lost about fucking...
What did you
100
do?
You'd lost about-
Eish till my glory. Eish till my glory. Okay, so I went back to the youth hostel owner and I told him that I'd been pickpocketed. And would he let me stay there? He could see that I'd been crying. Will he let me stay for an extra week? He said, okay. The Sunday, then I had sweets, but my heart was broken.
Stop it.
I made, back in them days, people don't know, but back in them days, you could phone home and reverse the charges.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Go on a public phone and the operator would ask the person, would,
pay,
they,
yeah.
would they accept the charges? Went to a public pay phone. And what was I going to say to my father? I fucked up again, will you send me the money to come home?
Yeah.
I fucked up again, you're right,
Yeah.
Dad, I am useless.
Yeah.
Was I going to say that? No. How are you, Tom? Dad, this is an amazing place. I love it. Everything is absolutely fucking fantastic. Good luck, Tom. Good luck, Dad. Hung up the phone. What the fuck was I going to do? I went down to the building site where they were making the hotels for the Summer Olympics. There was a fella from Navan there, John Sheely. I'll never forget the decency he fucking showed me. I used to go out with his sister, Catherine.
Catherine Sheely.
Beautiful young woman.
But did you know he was there, or did you just run into him when you
No,
went to the site?
I'd met him in Navan
Right.
over the Christmas, and he
Oh,
said
so
he
he
was
had-
working in Barcelona, and he said if you're ever stuck, come down and I'll give you a dig out. But I'd gone over there wanting to teach English,
Yeah, of course, yeah.
so I didn't have any. Only had me teaching English clothes. I didn't have me building site clothes. Not that I had building site clothes anyway. So I went down to John. John gave me the start, and I worked there for 6 weeks, and I earned. And I would say two very quick things. I was walking the Ramblas about 6 weeks after the incident, and I saw the same types of bastards
Oh, yeah.
doing the shit, pretending to be awful,
Yeah.
and I just stood on the edge of the group, watching.
Yeah.
American man and his son were on the outside of the group, and all of a sudden they found themselves on the inside of the group. And I fucking just pushed my way through the crowd so I could be on the inside of the group as well. And your man did the same thing, the cup resting on the side of the P, and then realising he's made a mistake, or making us think that he's made a fucking mistake, flicking it over. And I could see the Yanks thinking, these North African fuckers don't know anything. We're very clever from America, they're not pulled the wool over our eyes. And I turned to them, and I cleared my throat, and I went to say, these boys are having yawn, you shouldn't do that, when this cunt just pinched me.
Oh, yeah.
Pinched me on the fucking flesh like that, and I looked, and he would have fucking, if I'd have been standing there with a knife in my stomach if
he had said anything.
I'd fucked this up with him.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They all the
So-
gang around, the gang.
So I said nothing, and the Americans lost their money, and that was that. And that was my story
Ah, it's fucking
about going to Barcelona in
Christ.
1992.
Barcelona in el verano.